How about them tops, son?
All day, SEC boys. SEC, they supposed to be SEC. Crazy all day, baby.
You're listening to the Red Out Podcast.
Welcome into another Red Out podcast. I am your host. To start us off tonight, Devin. Let's see if I can get anybody else on here. I got everybody messaging me. Let's see what we got.
Devin, can you hear me?
Okay, let's see. I'm getting messaging Jared now. Okay, can we hear me?
Devin, this is Ross. Can you hear me, or do I need to do the other way?
No, you're good, bud.
All right, cool. I didn't want to sound like I was in a phone booth like last time I called from my basement. So.
No, you sound good. You sound like you're at a supermarket right now, broadcasting over the loudspeaker, so it's good.
Cool.
Let me see if I can get Jared. And I'm waiting to see if I can get Alex. And Jake has got baby issues right now, so we'll see what's going on with him in a minute.
Join us
I think
halfway.
it says I'm live now.
Yeah. Here we go, Jared. You're up.
All right, cool.
And Alex says he's here. Let's see. Alex, are you on?
Doesn't say anything yet.
There he is.
Oh my goodness, that was rough.
No, you good?
Okay. All right. We got everybody. Well, most everybody here that's here. Jake will be joining us in a moment. So I guess we'll just start it off like usual. Winners and losers this week. Alex, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hold on. I got my headphones in. Finally, I got my headphones in. I'm good now, right?
There you go.
Yeah, you're good. You sound great.
All right, perfect. The winners are, once again, the Tennessee Titans. How we keep winning and the fashion we're winning right now, I do not know. It was a mix between Jameis Winston handing us the game from the Buccaneers, just all the turnovers, and then pretty much Mike Vrabel just finding ways each single week to just frustrate the fan base by his stubbornness, taking crazy calls like that fake field goal with Brett Kern as the quarterback was just, oh my goodness, we can't go any lower than that.
That's great. Yeah.
Hey, Nate, here you come.
Man. And losers for this week, honestly, it's kind of tough, but you know what? I have none this week. For some reason, I actually have none this week. Like, it's just been one of those weeks where, you know what? Everything offsets to the point where I just can't pick an exact loser.
Yeah, I understand that. I get you. Sometimes it just doesn't line up.
Sometimes it's not blatantly obvious, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, of course, you do have the Dolphins losing again, which almost turned into a winner.
Wah, wah, wah.
I know, right?
For me, it is a winner. I'm wearing a Dolphins shirt right now. I still rep this team even though they suck. But I'll just go ahead and say mine. But I don't have any winners because my life is depressing. Except, I mean, it is what it is. Losers, though, I have to say any professional sports team that I like. Because you have the Dolphins, they just played the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. They actually looked pretty good in the first half. They actually scored 2 touchdowns, and they actually looked like they were going to do something. But, of course, in order to tank, you can't win, so they had to blow it, as usual. And then Xavier Howard, their best player, got hurt, so he's going to be out the rest of the year, pretty much solidifying 0-16 as far as I'm concerned. But so they haven't won a game yet. And then also the Indiana Pacers, my favorite NBA team, they have started off terribly. Like, their bench is not very good at all. Like, Nate McMillan has the players to do it. He's just not playing there for some reason. I don't think he's a very competent head coach. I hope that this is his last year because he's got really good, talented players but can't do anything with them. So my life is just depressing. None of my professional sports teams have won a game yet this year, so go Tops.
So
Yes.
are you a Red fan too, or what?
No, but I'd probably be a Marlins fan just because that would be even more perfect.
I'm just talking about,
How old were you in '98 and 2003?
Oh Lord, '98 I was in like kindergarten. '03 was like third grade.
So, hey, that's they would have been the most recent champions out of those teams if you were a Marlins fan. So
Wow, that's kind of sad.
he's kind of par for the course thus far, though. So
The Pacers went to the finals in 2000 and played the Lakers, I think. But
yeah, during their
not Lakers.
three-peat. Reggie.
Yeah, he needed more help.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, he was good too.
Austin Crozier.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It's a pretty good team, but I mean, apparently when I like a team, they become cursed outside of Western. They're the only team that I've cared about that has actually had any type of success. So that's a miracle within itself.
yes, Ross, do you have any winners and losers, buddy?
I'll do a winner, Game 7 tonight of the World Series. You know, do or die baseball. And for the baseball haters like Jared, baseball's finally over after today. So we'll say winners on both sides. So, no, it should be a great game, do or die. Like, you know, baseball's boring talk's not going to apply tonight because literally every pitch matters because both teams could lose at any moment.
Yeah,
So.
because tonight a Game 7 is always interesting. I don't really care what sport it is. It could
And
be
then and just
baseball,
the
anything.
crazy fact is this series the road teams won every game. They said I saw the stat last night. It was the first. There's been between NHL, NFL, or NHL, NBA, and baseball. There's been 1,400 series, Game 7 series in time. This is the first time in all, you know, probably 1,400 series that the road games won the first 6 of any series. So that's just crazy.
Yeah, that is really backwards.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it flies against the conventional wisdom, home field advantage. It's just nuts. And the games have really just, you know, it's kind of been back and forth where it's like, okay, well, the teams kind of get blown out every game, but you know, we'll see. It's do or die tonight. It should be good.
Who's
Losers,
the home team?
Astros.
All right,
So.
Nationals are your
Yes.
champions.
So,
As a
yeah,
Cardinals
should be-
fan, I do not want the Astros. I mean, it was cool that they finally won one a couple years back, but still, it's just like, as a Cardinals fan, I'm like, let Houston just lose this, just so not only the National League will actually have one through the Nationals, so just
no super teams.
no super teams at all.
Yeah. And my loser this week is Arkansas fans. So,
Nice.
so I don't know if you guys followed the towel rack earlier this week, but you know, there's rumors that the Kyrie Walker rumors are still hanging out there that he might join a team mid-year. He unenrolled from his prep school and is either going to go to Western Arkansas or overseas. So I made a funny little comment on Twitter saying like, okay, well, in the span of 6 weeks, we could steal a 4-star, get their coach fired in football, and go 2-0 in 2 years in basketball. It's not very out there. You know, it's definitely possible. And you know, I don't get any response except a couple likes from Western fans. And then I wake up this morning, there's like 30 notifications on the Towel Rack Twitter account, and it's like, oh, you're a little old Western Kentucky, Stansbury with the cash bag and all this other stuff. And it's like, I'm glad you guys finally discovered it 2 days later, Arkansas
See,
fans.
the reason why is because their internet is so slow. They don't get their feed refreshed every 2 to 3 days. Is when they actually get new materials.
Yeah, it's dial-up, exactly.
I love Kentucky. We're probably in the hovering between the 40s and 42 range, but thank God for states like Arkansas, Mississippi, and West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yes,
We got somebody to make fun of.
yes. There's always somebody. I guess my winner or loser, depending on how you see it. The World Series girls who flashed the pitcher.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Oh,
that.
America's the winner on that one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was pretty funny in my book because of course, I didn't watch the game, but it was one of those after the facts, and I was like, "Are you serious?" I honestly thought it was just one of those trolling, articles. People were joking about it, and then I was like, "No! These girls actually got supposedly banned for life from that stadium."
Yeah, they did.
Oh
They
yeah,
got
banned from
any stadium.
baseball.
Oh,
Yeah,
Which
they got Pete Rose.
Which, by the way, that's almost impossible to be able to do.
Get banned from every
Yes,
stadium.
from every. Yeah, I mean, they could just pull Mike Sanchez.
There's no way they enforce it unless they tried to buy something. But like, if they bought just tickets off the street, there's no way they would ever get caught going into a game.
Exactly. There's no way you're going to be able to see that. If you bought it with your credit card or something, that might be one way. But yeah, the other way, no, that's not going to happen.
Apparently, that's what that IG model. That's like her stunt she pulls. Wherever she goes, she just lets the puppies fly. So
that's hilarious. I didn't realize. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Instagram models is another story. That's just a loser in all in itself. NCAA has come through. And I, depending on your view, they've either done something good or something bad, and they allowed the athletes to profit from their own likeness.
Which means the next NCAA game possibly will make world peace.
Finally.
It could be, yeah, and it could also be about $200 too. So
I'll pay every penny. I'll pay every penny.
I've
heard
since
several
2014. 2014 was the last time we got a new NCAA game. It's been
So
longer than that for basketball, I think.
you're probably right.
I mean, I think what we got to take in mind with this more than anything, this is the first step. Well, really the second step after the California law was passed. But really, it was basically the NCAA saying, doing what California signaled them to do and saying, hey, you guys have to come to action and do this. The NCAA said, oh, crap, we actually have to do something. But they basically said, okay, we're going to allow this, but try to fit it under our model, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And we don't know what that means yet. So it's just a wait and see in my book. I mean, I think we can't really jump to conclusions yet. I still think it's going to be something like Todd Stewart said in the interview, where it's kind of like an add-on to the cost of attendance stipend. But until we really know how the NCAA is going to allow individual players to profit from it, it's anybody's guess. It could be either side of the conspiracy theorist, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It could go either way as far as, and then what they go ahead.
The two biggest things to take away that I got from the whole thing that they passed today is that, one, it doesn't obviously take effect now. They're trying to aim for January of 2021 to where they can instate this. And also the NCAA, they made it pretty clear that they're not the ones that are going to be providing the money for athletes. They're just opening it to where they can get money like from an endorsement deal or just from their name, image, and likeness. I don't know if that means like if Western sells number 23 basketball jersey, they can have Bassie's name on it and him get money from it. I don't know if that's something if that's how it would look. But, I mean, that's what they're aiming for. I think is something similar to that.
Yeah, that's my thing, too. Like, I mean, where do you draw the line? If you have a shirt that has Bassie's face on it, that's one thing. But if you have his number, is that another story?
Well, I mean, they sell the jerseys at Western that have different players' numbers on it. Like, they have just like a 1, but there's still somebody with number 1. Like last year was Monte Bearden. I mean, it's basically a Bearden jersey, but without his name on it.
Yeah, but also, what about this? Like, you can always get a jersey off the internet or whatever. Say, like, you can get a Charles Bassey Western jersey literally from, like, China or somewhere. Like, is that line going to be drawn off the likeness even though it's not coming directly from the source?
Honestly,
if it's in China, they don't follow copyright laws anyway. So it's not a good example.
It's true.
If you were buying it directly from Nike, I'd assume they'd get a cut, though.
Yeah, if you think about it, the universities could make a bunch of money if they were to sell player jerseys and, like, advertise it. So, like, the NFL and how the different teams all sell their jerseys. Like, I'd go buy me a John Haggerty jersey right now, 100%. So,
well, here's the thing.
That could be more money for Western.
It's not gonna be the biggest windfall that everybody thinks. So let's say it's a $100 jersey. Maybe Bassey gets $10 off of that because of all the different things. So. And that's like the NCAA game. If you do, like, let's say 130 teams times 70 players per roster, 80 players per roster, that's, they might get like a $1,500 check. And then if the players start holding out, that's where it can become a giant mess. That's kind of what Todd Stewart was talking about. It's like if you don't make it equal, then you get player resentment issues and all this other stuff. And it's it's going to be weird and hairy, and I'm just fascinated to see how the NCAA implements the thing because you're kind of opening Pandora's box. Who knows?
Yeah, but that's my thing too. Are they drawing the line at having like Charles Bassey's number and name on the back, or is it just like they sell a jersey that has a number 1 and then that player gets the money from it, even though it doesn't have their name on it? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not using their name or likeness, but it's like, where do you draw your line?
See, I'm not really worried about the school merchandising and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about, like, local companies, Trent Betting sponsoring, or, like Don Franklin Auto, like the big dealership group out of Lexington, like, using that
Or Gerald Printing.
Or something bigger than, okay, the school... that's fine. There's little cuts. Who knows if they're buying for this or that? Because I'm a firm believer. Okay, Bassey's a star, but I still think most Western fans are buying like the printed cup because it's the printed cup at the game. They're not buying it because Bassey's face is on there.
I agree, but
yeah,
like you say, it's their likeness.
Yeah,
so.
well, they'll find loopholes around that little stuff. I'm worried more about the making money off of endorsements and spokesman deal and stuff like that, which I think that's the bigger stuff.
So jumping into other sports, volleyball continues to win, and I guess I have to eat a little crow. I said it was that them continuing to win was starting to get boring, and I didn't mean that as an insult. I meant it more as a compliment. But I can understand how it made me be as screwed to look that way.
Did we get called out last week for that?
I got called out by my wife, so so yeah, so it's fine. It's whatever. I wasn't saying it as a diss to volleyball girls. I was just saying it as a compliment. So there you go.
All they did was
the girls beat Charlotte on the 27th 3-0, and then they turned around and beat UAB 3-0. So, bam, gotta love that.
Still waiting. We're about 2 weeks from our giant match against Rice. So
nice.
Yeah, Rice is like number 15. We're like number 22 or something. So that would probably be. I think if we win that, we probably can get an at-large seed, even if we lost to them in the conference tournament. So it's a really big game.
Looks like soccer has beat UAB last on the 25th. Yeah, they beat them 1-0, and that's when the volleyball played UAB. Was on the 25th. Women's basketball plays on the 31st against Kentucky Wesleyan in the exhibition. So go support them. And that's at Diddle. Okay. And looks like women's golf beat. They won out in the Little Rock Women's Golf Classic. They beat out 17 other teams. So there we go.
Sweet. Yeah, sounds good. That's awesome.
Yes, go Tops.
I actually did show prep today, so it's all good.
Look at you, Devin. I'm sorry.
I know, right? Let me see if I can pull up they beat 17 other teams, and I was kind of confused because I don't do golf, first off. But they, let me see. They did, come on now. Low internet. This is in Arkansas.
I think head coach Adam Gary, the women's golf coach, has now, I think, either tied or broken the record for most wins as a coach in school history. So
okay, that's men's. All right. Yeah, I mean that's great. Here's the story. Sorry, WKU.com with this. WKU shot a 54-hole total of 12 over 876 to win by a 5-stroke margin in the 17-team field and record the lowest 54-hole team score in tournament history dating back to 2007. So
sweet. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Good job, ladies. I'm not much of a golf guy, so sorry. And big story, Western lose Marshall, which, by the way, guys, I hate Marshall fans now. They just...
Same.
Welcome
to the club.
I'm just glad it's over because I was like, just all the stuff I'm reading online, I was like, these guys can suck it. I hate these guys. I just, ugh. Western lost by last-second 53-yard field goal, 26-23.
That kicker, what's his name? Justin Rohrwasser. God, he was good.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking on Sundays. The Titans can take him right now.
Thank you. Yes. Once we get Suck Up out, yes, I will gladly have him in two-tone blue.
Yes. Yeah. Justin Rosdeutscher or whatever. He was 4 for 4. He hadn't missed a single field goal all year, has he?
No.
No.
And by the way,
Yeah.
Dude is buckets.
yeah, Corey Munson missed 1 field goal. He was at 50%.
He missed an extra
And
point,
yet people
too.
are ragging on him just because he missed the extra point too. But I mean, people got to remember he's a true freshman kicker. I mean, a lot of pressure. I mean, if the kicker is the one that always takes the heat for everything.
You wait till Munson's a senior. If he stays here the whole time,
He'll be solid.
He'll be just like
solid.
Rosdeutscher is. So
Yeah, you just got
Corey Munson will be good. A lot of people are giving him grief. And something to add to that, it is not illegal for the kicker to continue through with his motion when the opposing team calls timeout.
Yeah, like
So when they iced him, do what?
In the post-game interview, Helton said that, but he said that he was going to call the timeout early, and the refs just did not listen to him or did not communicate that, and that's what he was so upset about, is that he told them multiple times, he's like, I'm going to call the timeout early, don't let him do that, and everything, but they still did anyways, because, I mean, Conference USA, what else is new, so it is what it is.
Yeah, Conference USA refs, yeah, that's...
Yes.
We have the king of that coming on Saturday.
Yes. Which, by the way, yeah, I'm not a fan of Lane Kiffin, but still, like, all that, no. Those refs are awful, and I stand by him 100% on that. So Western was 426 total yards.
I thought they did a great job of moving the ball. Like,
did too.
even on the turnover drives, like, basically they got 2 first downs on both of those drives and then shot themselves in the foot with the bad trick play and then the fumble by Story. It's like, you know, you can see Story getting more confident in each game. You can see Helton knowing how to call plays for him. Like Lucky Jackson, 16 catches for 168 yards. He's really emerging. Like Gage Walker having vision. Like they still have to learn how to finish drives. They've got to. I mean, the turnovers basically killed us this game, because if we even cut down one of those, Marshall probably doesn't score. Put us in that 17-0 hole. But it's going in the right direction. The defense, I still think the defense got, especially D'Angelo Moyon, got held like crazy this last game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he definitely did. I agree. Jaquez Sloan was the one that threw that big interception. And, I mean, Story threw one as well. But
it was a Hail Mary at the end
It
of
was
the
just
second quarter.
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But, and with Jaquez Sloan, though, if you watch a good quarterback, they plant their feet, they follow through, there's little things that they do that helps. Jaquez Sloan looked like he was playing Little League football when he threw that ball.
Well, I mean, he's not really a quarterback either.
No, he's not. And I mean, I'm not cutting him for that, but literally, like, he just jumped and just threw it as hard as he could. And I was like, man, we're
He's
not.
like, this is the only time I'm going to be able to throw it, so F it. Who cares if the guy's open or not?
Yeah, and of course it bit us in the butt, but Western had 134 yards rushing. We had 9 yards less in penalties, which I don't know about y'all, but I have never seen an illegal equipment call in my entire life.
That was
just wow.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious in my book, because I was like, illegal equipment. I was like, okay, somebody's got a visor on that's, you're not supposed to be wearing, or something like that. And they were like, there are 2 number 43s on the field. And I was like, oh my gosh, some coach is going to get his butt chewed for that.
It's just like MTSU's 12 players in the conference championship. I thought it was going to be that kind of moment, but I mean, still funny.
Oh, it was. I thought it was hilarious, but and of course, Western having the fumble and the 2 interceptions. That's just the big killer right there.
Turnovers, man. If you cut them off, then that's how you win ball games.
And I know if Munson had hit those, but it's kind of like when Matt had the interview with Casey Tinius. That is the hardest job on the field, to go basically 30 minutes of actual real life time, not game time, not doing anything. Then you have to start warming up on the sidelines to hit a 53-yarder or whatever, and then to go do that. It's just unbelievable. Jared, what did you think of the game on Saturday, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely what you would expect from the Moonshine Throwdown. It was just all sorts of excitement. I did not think it was going to be a remotely close ball game after Marshall started off 17-0. I thought that, this is a game that we'll just kind of throw out and then try to get back on track on Saturday. But these guys showed a ton of resiliency. I will say that for sure. I was really proud of the way that they were able to come back into the second half and get themselves back into this game, because you take a Western team from a year ago, 2 years ago, they probably would have just laid down and died, and it would have been wouldn't have been pretty at all. But these guys, they fought, they did really solid. They tried their hardest to get back in there. The only thing that I think that really cost him this game was the timeout that Coach called when there was, I think it was when Marshall was still like in there on 25 or something like that. If he would have not called it, Marshall didn't have any, and a lot more time could have gotten ran off the clock. But he wanted to call a timeout, hoping that his defense would make a big stop to maybe force him to punt or just have a turnover. But that actually gave Marshall enough time to get in field goal range. And for Rosdeutscher, however you say his name, I think they said that his 53-yard field goal is a career long, and it was the first attempt he's ever had over 50 yards. And plus, it barely went in, too. It went through, like, the bottom right of the field goal, and he did it 3 times. The 2 times that Coach Helton tried to ice him and the other one. So, I mean, I guess it was just their day. I mean, he was feeling it. Their kicker is really solid. So
Here's a question I have.
Okay,
So going on that last drive, they get like a 4-yard play on the first play from their 13 to get to the 17. Helton calls a timeout, and Marshall from there on starts to dink and dunk us. I don't know if that was the right decision by Helton to call a timeout there. That's the big second-guessing moment. It's like, I can understand that on third down. Like, okay, or on second down, you get a big stop, and like, okay, it's 3rd and 7. Let's get a stop to get the ball back. But, that kind of let them reset their offense, and I think we basically gave them a chance to regroup when they didn't have a good first play of that last drive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I still like Coach Helton better than Sanford, and if it's only one small mistake instead of like 15, I'll take it.
Well, it's definitely a small thing, but it's just something that, it's like, man, if we could have done this, or if the offensive line could have, blocked a little bit better or whatever. Just little things like that. That's what adds up when you lose a game that close.
Well, I'll tell you, my thing is with, like, it was kind of like, I'll expand on what Jared said. If, like, for instance, last year, if that last year team had played this Marshall team this year, we got killed like 44-6. I mean, there's no contest. And then for Western to only allow, 2 field goals in the second half?
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy. To allow Marshall only get 2. I mean, if we'd have had that good of a push as far as the defensive side in the first half, we'd have been set.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do believe that D'Angelo Malone was held the entire game.
Probably.
I thought at first he looked kind of sluggish, but I think it was more of a holding issue. But you're going into somebody else's house on homecoming, so that's going to happen. I mean, there's no debate there. They're going to get home cooking no matter what it is, and we're Western, so we're not going to give it.
It's usually how that works in every conference that we've ever been in.
Yes.
Yes. Alex, what did you think of the game, buddy?
The game, like, pretty much as a consensus, I was real proud of the effort that we actually did try to come back, because like you said, compared to last year, this team would have just laid down, died, would have got blown out 60-plus points. But I'm just proud of the effort. Also, I'm glad to see a running back other than Gage Walker getting some carries. So it's like
Walker. Good God, man, he did pretty good, I thought.
Yes.
But McClendon did really good too.
Yeah, he ran up. Got a couple carries for 25 yards. And it's just like, if I was Helton, keep mixing in the running backs just to keep Walker fresh, because you're going into that down stretch, not only playing for a bowl appearance, but like trying to go for the conference title. You really do not want to tire out your number one running back too much, because once he goes down, you will have to go back into the depth, and it's just a cycle. So they have to keep McClendon in, also get LaFrance in if they would have to just keep Walker going. Like, take him out when need to, but still, as long as he averages like at least 15 plus carries, it's all good.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Of course, I won't lie. When Gage Walker made that one touchdown run, I was sitting there and I was like, okay, he was down. He crossed the line. Please don't let them call that.
Yes, do not let him take it back.
Oh yeah, where they it got knocked out of his hand, but it was really close.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
Scary.
I mean, it's those. They said in the press conference on Monday, it's those explosive runs is what really, where they finish those last 2 or 3 yards of the play really help us. Where we don't have to get in our goal line offense. Like it's kind of what this team's missing really to take the offense to the next level. But like we shoot ourselves in the foot so much in the goal line where it's like, okay, well, Gage finishing those 2 runs was just huge. So.
Oh, definitely. Well, talking about that. So we got FAU this week. I don't know how y'all feel. Lane Kiffin, love him or hate him, they're coming to us, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
it's a home.
Yes. Okay, so it's a home game. By the way, I think it's supposed to be nasty as all get out.
It is just really cold.
Yeah, it's high of 51. It's only supposed to be partly cloudy. It won't be that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, those Florida guys are going to freeze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that'll be nice.
Yeah, 51 is like 38 for us. So
Belt's character.
yeah, I mean, of course that's Florida guys. No joke.
Yeah.
They'll
I
probably
think-
be too drunk to feel anything anyway.
There you go. Yeah.
Light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sunny and 51 by game time, but it will cool off as the game goes by. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's 4 Eastern too. So you're looking at probably at least getting dark by the time the game's almost over. You good, Alex?
Yeah.
Gotta go.
So ESPN's given FAU a 57% chance to beat Western. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but they're also giving Western a -1 in the spread. So the game is that close. But in my opinion, I don't know about the rest of you, this Robinson kid is their biggest threat. In my
He's
opinion.
questionable. Him and the running back Davidson are both questionable. They left the ODU game last week in the first half, so their backups both finished the game. We don't know if those injuries are serious or not, so it's kind of wait and see mode. I would love our chances even more if their quarterback's out. Their running back is not really that great, but
No.
their
Yeah, he's no
quarterback.
Devin Singletary.
Yeah, but their quarterback, if he's out, that's give against our defense. Give me that all day. So
Which, by the way, they have a kid named Cordell Littlejohn. Is that not the greatest thing ever? He's a quarterback too. Okay, he's a freshman though.
Nick Troney would be their backup, who would probably play if Robinson's out. So
Okay, I see that. Nick Troney, yeah, he's a sophomore. Of course, he's thrown for 90 yards. He's got 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So
he played well against ODU in the second half, but it's ODU. So
exactly. God bless it. Always do this crap. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I clicked on is that ODU? I don't know. I can't tell. But anyway, doesn't matter. So Robinson, like you said, he's questionable for Saturday, but he's 172 for 271 on the season, throwing for over 2,131 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions thus far. And he's a sophomore. Good gosh.
yeah, I mean he's what makes FAU go. So the way I look at this game, just doing my pre-analysis, I've got the Q&A with the FAU guy coming out tomorrow, but they are probably they are similar to Marshall they're going to be an offensive team versus our defensive team. So their defense isn't nearly as good as even Marshall's is. Their pass rushes, they got a bunch of speedy athletes, but they're not going to. They will slow Western down. They won't. I think we'll be fine putting up yards against them. It's if we can keep up scoring. So on the season, even against good teams like probably Ohio State, who's arguably one of the best teams in the country, they put up 21 against them. They put up 14 against UCF, who's a good team as well. 41, 42, 45, 28 against MTSU, 31 against Marshall, and 41 last week. So they put up points. So if we aren't ready to score or we can't slow down their offense.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they put the 14 up against Central Florida, which, by the way, that makes me wonder how good Ohio State's either they scored. Let's see, did they score late in the Ohio State game? Yeah, they scored 15 points in the fourth. Okay, I was like, man, good God, they scored, but they didn't. They only scored 14 against Central Florida. Undetermined national champs there.
Sorry, guys, I'm back.
No, you're good. Passing yards allowed for FAU is 246, and rushing yards allowed is 151. Now, if you look at Western, we're only allowing 183 passing yards and 117 rushing. So, I mean, like Ross said, it's a strong offense versus a strong defense. So we'll have to see if our defense can come around. Hopefully, they'll wake up a little bit before halftime and kind of slow things down. I think the first few drives there from Marshall, we could have been in a lot better shape if the defense had reacted a little bit more, I guess, earlier than what they did. But,
they also were put in a bad situation twice, too. Let's not forget that with the turnovers.
Yes. Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, the offense did not help them at all. So, Jared, what do you think about Saturday? How are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be really interesting. Seeing how many people show up for Western is obviously another big thing, too. I'm going to be double dipping this Saturday. I'm going to be going to the FAU game, and then as soon as it is over, there's a scrimmage for men's basketball against Kentucky State. So a lot of fun stuff going on this weekend at the Hill. Really looking forward to it. But, yeah, I mean, FAU, they're still one of those teams that are in the top half of the east side of the conference. So, I mean, definitely not to be taken lightly. Hopefully the loss Saturday puts a chip on the guys' shoulders to get ready for this game. Like, that's their first conference loss, and if they're wanting to fight for a conference title, I mean, this is a game that they really need to win because, I mean, just looking at the Conference USA and the other teams like Marshall and FAU and all of them, they can't really afford to lose many games. And Western, they have a gauntlet of a schedule to end the season, too. So this is definitely going to be a big game. I hope there's good support for the guys, but hopefully the Florida guys will freeze and be really scared to death. But it'll be really interesting to see how it works out this Saturday. I just want the offense to show up again. 400-something yards, that's great. We need that consistently every game. I know that's hard, but you got to finish drives. That's the biggest thing.
Yes, I completely agree. Alex, what do you think? What do you think about Saturday, buddy?
Offense, we need a hot start all across the board. I'm definitely looking for Lucky Jackson to keep producing on his streak from the past two games, being more productive, getting everybody else involved. And from a defensive standpoint on FAU, a couple players to look out for. I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Achilles Leroy is the leading tackler. He has 55 total, 11 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. And in the secondary side of things, look out for this guy called Miko Dotson. He has 4 interceptions on the year, so definitely whoever is on him, he's going to cause some fits. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's and of course, actually I was just sitting here looking. It looks, according to ESPN, Western is still first in Conference USA since we have the 4 wins in conference. And out of the gauntlet Jared was talking about, we have to beat FAU, who is tied for second in the conference this week. We got Arkansas next week. On the 23rd, we play Southern Miss. And then on the 30th, around Thanksgiving, we're going to play Middle Tennessee, who is in third.
So the way that works, Devin, is basically if we win out and Marshall won out, they would have the tiebreaker against us because they would have the head-to-head. We'd both finish 7-1.
Yes.
But Marshall also plays tough games, specifically against Western Division leader Louisiana Tech. Play FIU, who's kind of a wild card team. And, they play a couple other Patsy teams too. But
they've got Rice, and they've got
if Marshall slips up once, and they could lose to Charlotte. Charlotte just beat North Texas, so you never know with that offense. So, Marshall could easily slip up. I don't think they were an infallible team. I mean, basically they took advantage of some mistakes by us. So, if we can find a way to win Saturday, we own a tiebreaker against every other team in the East, and we still have a good shot of winning the East. So we still have a lot to play for, and we're in a good shape. So
okay. If we win out, we still have to play Middle, and Middle beat Marshall.
yeah,
So technically,
Somehow.
yeah,
Somehow.
24-13. So technically, that would still put us above Marshall if we beat Middle, right?
not if Marshall and Western both won out, we would be tied at 7-1, and they would have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, because they beat us.
Marshall has to lose one more time, and we can't lose if we want to win the East.
Okay.
Or Marshall has to lose twice, and we would have to lose once.
Which, by the way,
yeah,
I'm explicit here. Who the hell thought we were going to be in this position?
Nobody.
No, not me.
Nobody. We were all like, man, this is a rebuilding year. Who cares? It's not the big deal.
Here's my thing though. We started 5-2. If we don't win a game after starting 5-2, if we finish 5-7, it's a disappointment. I'm sorry. You can't get the hopes up and show that much competence and then not win. So let's take care of business on Saturday. Let's beat FAU, and then you get basically a freebie game against Arkansas to make a statement before a bye week and then the last two conference games. So
yes,
Yes.
I would love to see us beat Kiffin and send him home crying on his little plane, but we'll
He'll
see.
be sending so many angry tweets.
Sending so many tweets. Like a couple of UT fans tweets just because for some reason he's still obsessed with the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I think he's just mad because he got fired from there, but it's whatever. Let me see here. Let me get into the mailbag, and while I'm doing that, I do have one question from my little brother asked me this. Who do you all think, we'll go around the room, who do you think is the best coach in WKU history?
Which
Football.
What sport?
Football. Sorry, football. We'll go ahead and start. I'll start with Alex. I'll let you go first, buddy.
Is it FCS or FBS? Like
Doesn't
all
matter.
era?
All time.
All right. Obviously, and forgive me for this because I've been delved into Western athletics since 2010, my freshman year of college. So for the longest in the Division II run, it's always been hardball, straight up. But like literally straight up. And go ahead.
No. You go ahead. You do your thing.
Yeah.
All right. And then the FBS level, I honestly feel like, and this is going to be on a tangent, Brom, because of the statistics. I mean, let's just be real. Let's be honest. But the Willie Taggart era actually set things off, whether you like it or not. The Willie Taggart era sorry, I can't even talk. But anyway, Willie Taggart era set things off, just the recruits. Then once he left, once Brom got in, pretty much just went from there. So I always got to give credit to the guy that started. So I would have to just go Taggart. Not because of stats or anything like that, but just overall impact on the program becoming what it is.
True.
Jared, what's your point, bud?
All right. My vote is one that is very abstract, and y'all will probably hate me for this. But I have to say E.A. Diddle, just for the fact that he coached football for like the first 2 or 3 years he was at Western. He is the greatest coach Western has ever had into anything. I don't care.
He's the first coach. That doesn't mean Western.
It doesn't
That
count.
First
I
doesn't
don't
mean
care.
the best.
I don't
He
care.
wasn't first.
By
the way.
proxy,
Or
E.A.
Nick Dennis
Diddle
or something.
did coach football for a little bit, and E.A. Diddle is the greatest coach that Western has ever had in anything. So therefore, I say Diddle, and that's why my dog is named Diddle as well. I am a Diddle fan.
Because of his football career.
Respect.
First off, Diddle was not the first coach.
Well,
Was it
I didn't
Dennis?
mean sorry. Yeah.
No.
Well, you know what I mean. He was
technically-
like when he first got to the Hill. E.A. Diddle did help coach football.
Yes, he did in 1922 to 1928.
Yeah. So
But-
therefore,
But in the 1908, they started the team, and in 19 till let's see, hold on here. I'm trying to skim and do it at the same time. They didn't start playing sanctioned games until 1913, and that's when a guy named Leeper and Manchester are noted as the first coaches for WKU.
well, my point is still proven. Still did it. I don't care.
Respect.
I concede. So Ross, who's your favorite, bud?
Okay. Well, first, if you're going to divide it, I think there's a really good argument during the 1AA years or pre-FBS years that Jimmy Fikes was a better coach than Harbaugh. I mean, he took them to back-to-back title games, or 2 title games out of 3 years, and really, had set Western up as a solid football school from the 60s until the 80s. People like Harbaugh took the mantle he had and ran with it. But, I mean, it's got to be Brom. I mean, he's taken Western to its highest heights ever. I mean, we were ranked in the top 25. We were blowing everybody out. I mean, I think we could be having this show 20 years from now, do a reunion episode, and still say, hey, it's Brom. So I think as time goes by, I think we're going to just keep looking back at the Brom years and just wonder, man, how did this happen? And, why are we having so much trouble replicating that? So that's my answer.
Okay.
With a 30-10 record for Jeff Brom, still pretty impressive. 30-10. Can't go wrong with that.
No,
75%. Yeah.
You can't beat the 30-10 record, but it's kind of like you said. Probably the modern era, you'd have to say Brom.
Yeah.
And modern, I mean like 2000 to current.
Well, really, 2007 or 8 when we transitioned would be the true modern era, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
because it was different scholarships, different athletes, different competition, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, in 2000, what was it? 2002, they won the championship. So that's what I'm going from. It's like them winning the FCS championship in 2002 is.
Yeah.
So going from that to current, I think you got to say it's Brom. Taggart kind of turned him around. I mean, he did good, but he was gone before. I mean, we didn't really win any championships or anything either.
I mean, his last season, they had all this talent, got off to a big start, and then they kind of faded down the stretch too.
Yeah, and I mean,
one by one.
But it's like you say,
Did you lose me?
Jack Harbaugh saved the program when they were going to cut the budget and Western was going to cut the team. It was kind of him and Jimmy Fikes who jumped in and saved it. But your most senior coach in Western history is Coach Fikes. I mean, that's if you're going winningest all time, you got to go Jimmy Fikes. He's overall 106, 56, and 6 ties. So, I mean, and he's got 6 OVC championships, 70, 71, 73, 75, 78, and 80. So, you can't beat that. I do have one comment. This comes from Matt McKay. He's kind of rubbing it in Jake's face. So does the Marshall loss give Jake every reason to believe WKU will finish 5-7? Which of the top, by the way, are guaranteed to be better than his prediction? Keep that in mind, Jakey Poo, kissy face. So, yeah. I know.
Wonderful question.
Yes, I love Matt. Jared, do you want to talk about some of your cold takes on the post?
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Did you forget? Come on
Somehow.
now.
Well, not really, but... See, I asked in the WKU basketball group that I created for some inexplicable reason many years ago that I was asking people's hot takes or bold predictions for the years. I saw a lot for the Sweet 16. I saw conference champions, NCAA tournament runs, but my favorite was from Eric Sack, and he said that we will beat Kentucky State. That gave me a good chuckle. But if you saw the Bellarmine game against Louisville the other day, that was kind of wild. They were actually holding their ground in that game. Bellarmine was. They had the lead going into the half. I don't know if Louisville played any of their starters or not. Ross, you can correct me on that. But
they have 3. They had both their big men hurt and a big freshman guy. But Bellarmine's a damn good team. They shoot the ball well, and I think depending on Louisville's injury situation, that game is there for the taking in Nashville for a statement win. I guess the day after Thanksgiving. So who knows which team will be ready to play. And, their size, I mean, their big men don't match up to Bassey. So it just depends on point guard play, if Cooper's eligible or not, and then how our shooters do. So, I mean, Louisville has all the talent in the world. Jordan Moore is great, but if if they're not molded together, or if they're not making that leap that all the national media thinks they are going to, then Louisville could take that L in Nashville. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
That'd be great in my opinion. I will say on some of these, yes, the Kentucky State was pretty funny. Frank Farrell says, "Final 32 with no injuries, no DUI, no bad grades, etc. Go Tops."
That's very bold.
That is bold. That is very bold. And the big one is the DUIs. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this year they'll stay off the weed, as Stephen A. says.
Classic.
I do like Jerry Constant. Championship. Yep. Charles Bassey domination. Yep. Go Tops. Yep.
Is that like championship or just conference championship? Because there is a big old difference.
Let me say, it's just bold, okay? Whether it's NCAA championship or conference championship, it's a bold take. So, conference, I think it's very possible. So, we'll see.
Conference should be expected, but that could be for a different podcast. I know we made the meshes boards this week by our NCAA or bust take, but
that's all right.
The towel hacks.
Yes, the towel hacks. So I do have. I got it here. Hold on. I do have one thing. I'll let y'all pull it up. And that is the coaches. Okay, let me find it. Is their favorite music? Is that what it was, Jared?
Yeah, what happened is that it was Brett McMurphy with The Athletic. He did this article asking every conference commissioner and also every head football coach and all 130 FBS teams who their favorite musical artist is. And we found the list for the Conference USA, and it is definitely worth talking about.
It is not the Conference USA. It's Conference USA. No one calls it the Conference USA.
I don't care.
It's not the SEC. It's Conference USA.
Yes, it is.
This is the.
Find me one other person who calls it that, Jared. Dear God, you're driving me crazy.
Okay.
I don't know why it's so triggering, but oh well.
Okay. So. Sorry, my throat's getting a little tickled tonight. So Will Healy, by the way, he likes Garth Brooks.
Respectable.
Was he even alive when Garth Brooks was singing? I'm just saying.
Probably not.
He's like our age, Devin.
Oh, man, he is. Okay, so never mind. Yeah. I was thinking he was a lot younger. Never mind. Lane Kiffin likes Bon Jovi, which, by the way, hilarious. Mm-hmm. Butch Davis is Fleetwood Mac, which that sounds about right.
Yeah, he's old.
Skip Holt likes Kenny Chesney.
Wow.
Doug Holliday doesn't like music.
Yeah, that's a cop-out. He's got to like something like Britney Spears or like Justin Bieber or something.
Oh,
he just doesn't want to
like
publicly say.
Backstreet or NSYNC. That would be hilarious.
Nickelback.
Shut up. I like Nickelback.
I love Nickelback.
All right, the Chainsmokers then. The Chainsmokers.
Okay, that sounds doable.
Line. No, Florida Georgia Line. There we go.
Okay, that's okay.
It's universally hated for Georgia Line.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have a confession to make. I just kind of skimmed this when Jared sent it to me earlier, and I was like, is this who they look like, or what is this?
Yes, because a single human can look like AC/DC.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, maybe they meant like the lead artist for AC/DC. I don't know. But I was like, Tyson Helton, George Strait. I was like, he doesn't look like George Strait. What is this? Dana Dimmel likes the Eagles. Cool.
Respect.
Oh,
Yeah. Of course, some of these I don't know.
Who?
Like Jack Johnson. I don't know Jack Johnson.
Dude, I met Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
He's that early 2000s like Hawaiian guitar player. You know his song, like the Banana Pancake song.
Devin, I met him by a total fluke in Indianapolis once. Like I went with my cousin. He was going to play a big show in like one of the theaters they have down there, and like just out of nowhere, he was walking by with his kids. So got to meet him, which was really random. So.
Okay, so I don't have the copyright for any of this. I'm just watching it on YouTube real quick to see what this is.
Yeah, it's definitely copyrighted.
Listen to Banana Pancakes. You know that song.
Banana Pancakes. Yeah, I gotta find it to that one. Yeah, it's not on this one, so I'll turn it off real quick. But yeah, that sounded really good.
George Strait's great, by the way. Amarillo by Morning might be one of the best country songs ever.
Oh, no doubt. But I don't know if George Strait is like my favorite artist, if that makes sense. He's definitely King George by all means. He's a great artist, and he's got numerous #1 albums and all that, but I just don't know
See,
about.
Y'all want to hear something wild right now? Like, do you hear this sound? That's me holding one of George Strait's CDs right now, just because I somehow found it in the office. His album Honky Tonk Bill came out in 2003. Had Cowboys Like Us and
That's a good one.
all sorts of stuff on that. So, random album that I just found. It's Coach Helton's favorite. Apparently, I just send it to him.
Okay, so we'll do it quickly. Jared, who on this list do you agree with the most as far as their music taste?
Who was
We
it
just
that had
do
the
Conference
Temptations?
USA
I'm not
or
looking
what?
at it.
Rick Stockstill.
Jared, we'll do on this list. Who on this list do you most agree with their music selection?
See, I don't have it in front of me, sadly, but I know one of them said AC/DC, which I kind of respect. I'm not a big AC/DC fan, but it's the rock music.
That was
I do
Bobby
respect
Wilder
that.
from ODU.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm surprised he didn't choose Old Dominion just because the name, but they're not very good at all, so that's smart that he didn't. But I would have to say, even though I hate MTSU, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Temptations. I mean, there's no way.
The Temptations are pretty good. I'll give you that.
Amazing.
I respect that.
Alex, what do you got, buddy?
This was a really good list. The one that kind of just blew me away, and it's the close second to Frank Wilson's Frankie Beverly and Mays, huge fan, but also Jay Hobson from Southern Miss chose Meatloaf. That literally warmed my soul when I saw that. I was like, wow, I would love to sit next to this guy at a table.
That's hilarious.
Favorite Meatloaf song, Alex? Go.
If I would do anything for love.
That's actually pretty good. Nice.
What was the one thing he wouldn't do? That's the question.
Right.
He won't do that. He won't do that.
I'm thinking.
I don't know what that is,
just
but he
me.
said he wouldn't do it, so it's fine. Yeah, Jared, if you got to dip out, buddy, it's fine.
All right, but yeah, I thought that was really funny. Just that whole first of all, like someone that's actually a reputable person at the Athletic interviewed every single coach in the middle of the season. Like, hey man, who's your favorite musical artist? I'm just kind of wondering right now. I wonder how that went over. But I mean, still pretty cool. that he did
McMurphy.
that.
He's the most connected man in
It's
football.
gotta be.
True.
It's got to be
Very
just
true.
like a quick email, though. Hey, coach, what's your favorite artist to listen to? Go. You know?
So could you imagine being a coach seeing that and be like, seriously, out of all the stuff I got going on this season, he wants to know what I'm listening to. But as
Yeah.
a music person, I respect it though, so that's cool.
I will say, if they emailed that to me, I would never get it because I don't
Yeah.
check my email very often. I'm bad about
Shame
that.
on you.
I
On that,
would
I will
say, well, I'll go. Let's see, Ross. Who do you think, buddy? Who do you agree with the most?
If we're just sticking to Conference USA, I'll stick with what Helton did. George Strait's pretty great. Garth I love too. So out of those, and the other ones I just go in phases. So I'd go with probably George Strait out of those. But huge Eagles fan. Outside of the conference, there were some fun ones too. I think let's see. Hold on one second. Let me pull up a funny one. Kalani Sitake, BYU's coach, went with Bob Marley.
Oh my gosh!
Walt Bell, UMass's coach, went with Tool.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Let's see. Tony Sanchez, UNLV's coach, went with Van Halen.
So did anybody say Nickelback?
No
I'm
Nickelback.
looking right now. No Nickelback. While we're still on the subject of just all the coaches outside of conference, the one that literally was like, come on, this has to be a troll. Les Miles, Kansas coach, liking 21 Savage. Like, I was just like, what the heck? That had to be a total troll from Les. That, and I did not expect Les Miles to know anything about current rap.
I don't know because the where he is. I don't know.
He had Rick Ross at their spring game or something.
I'm Rick James. Yep.
Kansas is a weird university though, and I mean this is the same university that had Snoop Dogg for their Midnight Madness.
They're like, hey, we got to get people to come to Lawrence, Kansas. We got to get the athletes to come from to Kansas. So let's bring some rap music. Maybe that will get them to come to the Plains.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Let me pull up Jared's little picture here so I can do mine real quick. Now I will say Garth Brooks is. I kind of agree with Ross. Garth Brooks was a big one for me. George Strait's a big one too. I didn't realize until just now that Lane Kiffin and Bill Clark like Bon Jovi. I just glanced through and I see that there's two of them. But I will go with Bobby Wilder, Old Dominion, AC/DC. AC/DC was the first vinyl I bought, and I would probably say that I will just tear that thing all to pieces because I listen to that thing all the time. I would literally do stuff around the house, and I'll just throw that vinyl on and just go with it. So, yeah, I'll have to go
with that same vinyl too.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yes.
Of course, it's the what's it? The Back in Black album.
Yep.
Which the story behind that is that their lead singer, wasn't it, that killed himself, and so they wanted the album to be completely black in solidarity for him, and then excuse me, and so they were going to do just this embossed look of their AC/DC on it. And so the vinyl company said, nah, it's not going to happen. We'll do it in a light gray. And that's how that album actually turned out to look the way it does. So,
Interesting.
fun fact for y'all while you're listening to the podcast here. So Western plays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on ESPN Plus, and we are at home this week at the Houch playing FAU and Kiffin's Convicts. So make sure to check that out. Let's see. Basketball plays again on Saturday. What's the time on that, Ross? Do you know?
6:30 Central against Kentucky State. It's not on TV. You either have to listen or go. So,
yeah. So if you want to get a quick in on seeing how good the basketball team is this year, go check them out. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out who else we got. Women's basketball. I think they play tomorrow night. Isn't that right?
Yeah, KWC.
Yes, they play tomorrow night, so go check them out. Volleyball keeps winning, so check them out. Let's see how
Soccer's got their last game of the regular season.
Oh, wow. Soccer's last game coming up?
Well, before the tournament, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So make sure to check them out.
Nice.
Check out the Towel Rack. They got great articles coming out daily. Ross and the guys keep rolling it out. Keeping you informed whether they're
we got some preview, more basketball preview stuff. We'll have a couple more football pieces this week before the game, and then starting next week, it's double duty, guys. So it should be a great time. It's probably the most fun time of the year as a WKU fan. We got both teams that should be good, and let's keep tuning in, keep supporting us, and keep realizing the quality difference between us and some other people's work. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay. And follow the Towel Rack, follow Red Out, and like, share, and subscribe on the podcast. And as always, guys, go Tops.